Hello, welcome to the channel. Today I will explain a 2009 comedy romance film called The Invention of Lying. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie's premise happens in an alternate reality where lying is not a part of human nature. This means that everybody speaks the truth no matter how brutal it is. Consequently, most people are quick to believe whatever they are told, and life is boring and unfair to the less advantaged. This includes 40-year-old Mark Bellison. He is a screenwriter in the film industry but lacks success in his finances and social life. Mark knocks on someone's door, and a beautiful woman called Anna opens. She expresses her frustrations at Mark coming to pick her up early for their date, but she lets him in nonetheless. The two go to a restaurant where Mark is worried that it is not up to Anna's standards. Sometime into the date, Anna's mother calls to check in, and Anna confesses that Mark is a loser in all aspects and that she dislikes him. Later, Mark takes Anna home, not disheartened by the rude comments Anna made, as he is used to it by now. Anna reveals that she cannot be with Mark because he fails in all departments. Anna is a wealthy woman looking for someone with some good genes for the sake of her children, and Mark's genes are nowhere near her type. However, she admits she had a better time than she expected. The next day, the receptionist at Lecture Films, where Mark works, reminds him that he is the lowest-ranked agent. She predicts that Mark will be fired later in the day. In a world where imagination is limited, writing is such a monotonous task as fiction is a word never heard of. Sure enough, Mark gets fired. He decides to visit his mother at a nursing home. Mark's mother is not surprised that he was fired, as she believes that her family is made up of losers. The following day, Mark is woken by the landlord demanding rent. When he learns that Mark was fired from his job, he gives him a day to move out, fearing that Mark won't afford the rent. Mark decides to withdraw his remaining money from the bank and close his account. In the bank, he finds that the system is down, so the teller asks him how much money he needs. Mark replies that he needs $800, which is his month's rent. The system comes back on, and the cashier sees that Mark has only $300 in his account. Technically, Mark did not mean to lie about the money he needed, but instead of being reprimanded, the teller gives him $800. Mark quickly pays his rent, and he cannot believe his luck. Later, he tells his friends about the concept of lying. However, this is such an alien thing to them that they end up believing everything that Mark says. Frustrated, Mark asks the two men what they would do if they had the power to control anything in the world. The friends quickly respond that they would use their powers to get laid. Mark exits the bar and stops a beautiful woman on the sidewalk. He tells her that the world will end unless she sleeps with him. After the two get to a hotel room, Mark feels wrong about manipulating the woman. He fakes a call to NASA and assures the woman that everything will be safe, so they don't have to have intercourse. The woman is so relieved that she hugs Mark, expressing her gratitude that she does not have to sleep with him. Mark meets up with his best friend Greg, and the two decide to hit up some casinos. On the way, a police officer wants to arrest Greg for drunk driving, but Mark convinces the officer that Greg is not intoxicated. After cheating his way into winning several games, Mark and Greg exit the casino with literal bucket loads of money. In his apartment complex, he is approached by one of his neighbors who plans to end his life. Mark convinces the man that his life is meaningful and that things will improve, making him thwart his plans. That night, Mark calls Anna and convinces her to go on another date with him, saying that he is no longer a loser. Anna agrees to the date, making Mark very excited. He watches a film. He gets an epiphany about getting his job back. Mark starts writing a script, and when he is done, he dunks the paper in coffee so that the article looks ancient. The next day, he shows up at work with confidence that is hard to beat. He shares his story with his boss, who becomes so intrigued that he has all the other workers come into his office and listen to Mark. Mark's story, The Black Plague, is about an invasion that almost wiped out humanity, but humanity was saved by aliens who wiped out everyone's memories. Mark says that he found the script in the desert, and his discovery was foretold in the writing. This makes his greatest competitor very jealous, but Mark gets his job back nonetheless. On this date with Anna, she reveals that she is very intrigued by his latest success. However, Mark's genes are still a no-go for her. She feels that Mark would be a good husband and father, but she is not attracted to him. Their date is interrupted by a call from the nursing home. Mark finds out that his mother has suffered a heart attack, and the next one will be fatal. Mark's mother is scared about dying as she does not want to be alone for eternity. Desperate, Mark convinces his mother that after she dies, she will regain her youthful looks and be connected with her loved ones. The poor woman dies with a smile on her face. Mark is devastated by his loss, but he fails to acknowledge the doctors and nurses who want to know more about the afterlife. Mark spends the night at Anna's place, happy to find comfort on her shoulder. The next day, Mark finds a crowd of people, including news anchors, gathered outside his apartment. They all want to know what happens after death. Confused, Mark calls Anna and tells her about the recent event. Anna comes over and convinces him to share the news, as the news would help millions of people terrified of death. Finally, Mark decides to address the crowd. He mentions that a man in the sky is responsible for everything that happens. Everyone who dies is guaranteed a mansion and free ice cream, so long as they do not do 3 bad things. When asked how he knows this, Mark claims the old man in the sky told him. Following this, people believe Mark wholly, and even NASA sends astronauts to look for the man in the sky. The Black Plague film comes out, and Mark becomes rich and famous overnight. He buys a mansion and a few luxuries to make life better. He spends much of his time with Anna, and the two form a bond. Anna develops some feelings for Mark, but her fear of bad-looking kids keeps her at bay. Anna gives Mark a card on his birthday, but reveals that she has a date with Mark's rival, Brad. During the date, Anna realizes that Brad is selfish and rude as he orders for her, offends her mother, and insults Mark. Anna tells her mother that while Brad may have the genetic composition she's looking for, she might be happier with Mark. The mother quickly calls Brad and has Anna schedule another date. Anna's new relationship with Brad puts a strain on her friendship with Mark. Several months later, Mark is in his house when Anna visits him. She gives him an invitation to her wedding happening the next day. Mark begs Anna not to marry Brad, but Anna has already made up her mind. She asks Mark to attend for her sake. The next day, Greg comes to pick up Mark for the wedding. He also gives him a razor to shave off his overgrown hair and urges him to return to the land of the living. He also reminds him that he has not totally lost Anna. The two friends attend the wedding ceremony, which is very beautiful. The officiant gets straight into the ceremony and asks the attending guests if anyone feels like they can be a better genetic match for Anna. Mark speaks up, despite murmurs of disapproval from everybody. He says that Anna would be way happier with him. The officiant wants to know what the man in the sky says about Anna. Even though he has a chance to lie and be with Anna, Mark decides to do the right thing. He tells Anna that only she can decide what she wants and exits the building. Anna catches up to him and asks what the man in the sky says. Mark confesses to his lie, and Anna wonders why he did not manipulate her. She finally reveals that it does not matter, as she is willing to have bad-looking kids. Several years later, Anna is serving Mark and their son food. She is a terrible cook, but the father and son praise her food, revealing that the son has gained his father's ability to lie. What do you think about this movie? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more recaps like this one. Like and share this video. Turn on notifications so you don't miss out on new content about your favorite movies. Do you want to keep the entertainment going? Well, check out this related video to see more, and I'll see you in the next video.